Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? Did you get your shopping done? Did you get your after Christmas shopping done? I did. I'm still using that hand cream, you guys. It's amazing. So for when I get out of my room. But yeah, I did. I haven't gone after Christmas shopping in a few years just because I haven't needed anything, you know. And so if I would go shopping and they'd have stuff out, you know, like a week or two later, I did get some good buys that way. But, you know, so this year we were like running out of wrapping paper. We were at the end of the roll. And you know, as kids, the roll was like a solid tube. Now it's just this funky, thick paper, brown paper, right? My son used some of it to wrap one of the grandkids' gifts, which I thought was super funny. But yeah, so we just got back from that and my hands are all, you know, crappy. But how was your Christmas? This was the first Christmas we ever spent, like our family Christmas, where it wasn't in our house. Because of the dogs, the girls always complain, and so we actually spent the Christmas at one of my daughter's houses, which was really fun, and it turned out great, right? But there is something different about not having, you know, the kids in your own house, where we had to take everything out. Like, we didn't hang stockings. It was so weird. Like, some of the traditions, I feel so bad about my younger son because he doesn't get to, he hasn't done them. We don't do them anymore. You know, so I was actually thinking, and maybe you can help me out with this, is what do you do when your kids start leaving the nest? Like, what do you do for Christmas traditions that you try and keep, you know, keep there and continuing? You know, what do you do? I was trying to think of something we could do. We did go to midnight mass, which is absolutely my favorite mass, is the midnight mass. And our church now, it's a German church. It's so funny how the churches in our town grew. So we have St. Pat's, but that was the Irish church. And so the Germans, you know, didn't understand the language and they had to go there. But eventually they built their own church, which was St. Joe's. And so the one tradition that has stayed through is they sing Silent Night, and they sing it in German. We used to have a Spanish mass, and so they would sing one in German, one verse in German, one in Spanish, and one in English. But this year it was all in German, and then you know, at the end you sing a couple verses in English. But it's just beautiful because then we light these little candles and the church is dark, and it's my favorite time of year. It's my absolute favorite. So I did get to do that, but I don't know what to do with traditions with my children. Like, our tree looks pathetic. We've got 6 ornaments. Wait, I put some of my old ones up. So there's like maybe 10 ornaments on this tree. I kid you not. They didn't want to decorate the tree. But okay, anyway, today we are starting off a new series. I don't know if you saw the short to it. That was a really cute intro. If you saw it on YouTube, it's Pink Cadillac. And it's the song Pink Cadillac from the 80s. I love that song. Check it out. But so we are starting random soaps. And I will tell you all about why I am doing this in the video. 30 things. Be kind, be forgiving, be you. Merry Christmas. And let's go check this out. Okay, into our first random sass soaps. It's Baja Cactus Blossom. So, like I told you before, I have all these 1 ounce fragrance oils that, you know, sometimes it's hard to use, you know, in just my regular molds, right? And so I said I was going to do something with them, and I decided I was going to make these cute, individual soaps. That way I could test the fragrance, I could test what it does, and basically when I get to the cutting part, I will explain more about what I'm doing with them. But I really got onto the idea, and I was like, this is going to be fun. So I'm using my 6x6 slab mold, and I don't do a lot of slabs. like hardly ever. You see me, you know, I have my 2-pound mold, and I have my 12-inch tall skinny mold and my wood mold, right? But they're all similar, not a slab. Okay, so I was really super excited when I started this. So Baja Cactus Blossom Fragrance Oil is from Aztec Candle Company. I used the colors Slice of Moon, Peach Blow. It's supposed to be pink. And I added some Voodoo. I'm adding Voodoo because I just hate the color it is. Looking at that, it's like, that's not what I wanted. So I'm adding a little bit of Voodoo to that Peach Blow. Because the Peach Blow is actually a pink color. It's a very beautiful baby pink. But yeah. Anyway, the green is Kermit Green by Brambleberry, and then just a little bit of titanium dioxide in the overall batch. So this first set of 6 soaps, okay, is all a little different because I was trying to get the process down. Now this was supposed to be like some sort of swirly S curves in all of it, and that's literally what I did. As you can see though, this is really setting up faster than I thought. And after doing all these, I'm beginning to wonder if it's not my, if it's just because it's so cold in the house, which I think that's irrelevant, but I'm really beginning to think it's my, my batter, my recipe. The only thing that changed in my recipe is I am using, instead of grade A olive oil, I am using 100% organic extra virgin olive oil, both from Soaper's Choice. I love both of them. That's the only difference, except for there is one other additive that I have been doubling, and I'm thinking maybe that could be it too. But it doesn't matter. The nice thing about the slab mold, right, is that you can really vary this thing. You can really work it. So as you can see, it's chunky. Okay, but I'm not worried about it because I did get my S's in for the most part. This is just the top, and the tops on these are not going to be pretty at all. They are the top is going to be very random because I don't really need it. Now, that swirl goes all the way through. So anytime I take a skewer to these molds, it's all the way to the bottom. Okay, I think they're roughly 1 inch high. They could be a little bit taller than 1 inch high. I can't remember. I'm going to have to actually measure these things. But the skewer goes all the way to the bottom. Okay, just so you know, for design purposes. This first one goes into the oven for oven process. I actually stopped doing that. This is the one and only that went to the oven because my oven is a little lopsided, and yeah, I didn't like it. It's not level. It's not lopsided. It's just not exactly level. And then comes the cutting process to this. I am not a great knife cutter. Great at usually I'm good at figuring this out, but this is like literally, so my ruler doesn't go, it's not like the end is 1. You have that little millimeter where, you know, and then 1. So I have to make sure I'm like in the middle with the 1 just over and the 6 just over, and it's, you know, it's all a thing and lots of fun. And for some reason I was doing this by centimeters because I thought my centimeters were more accurate than my inches, and it was literally, this is the first one, and so here you're going to see most of my complications, and you're going to see in the next few videos how I overcome them. So it was a process, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And like I said, if you saw the short with the pink Cadillac, that is actually one from the other set of 6 that will come out later. But as you can see that with that knife, yeah, I have, you know, it's kind of stuck, and I had a little hole, which was one of the things I had to overcome. But the other thing was my soap cutter. love this thing, you guys. I really wish I got it from Nurture's, when they were Nurture's soap, whatever it was. They're Nurture's homemade. I can never remember. Yeah, but this is literally where I got it. I could not find one at the time because I wanted to be able to cut different types of soaps, different sizes, different, and you buy one of those big ones and you have to buy multiples if you want to cut at 3/4 or 1.25 or 1 point, because remember, if you cut them at an inch, they're going to shrink, right? Yeah, so then they might not be a full inch, which is why most people do the 1 point, I don't know what it is. It's just over the 1 inch, so that when they shrink, they are 1 inch. So I had to mess with my soap cutter a lot on this, and love the fact that I can do this, right? Like it's worked out stellar. I cut them, so it's a 6x6, so they're getting cut 2x3, as you can see. And I did a pretty awesome job on all of them. Also, because what I do on my soap cutter is when I find the perfect spot, I mark it. I kid you not. I gouge into that plastic. It's solid stuff, but it makes a mark that is visible to me, probably not to you, but it's visible to me to see where that 2-inch mark was at, and just awesome. I can't remember. I think this was C-popped, and I think it was in the mold a good 2 or 3 days, and I actually left most of them in the mold 2 or 3 days because it's a silicone mold, and they can sit there that long because the silicone doesn't breathe. You know what I mean? And so these were a little bit different, but I did get my my small measurements down for these. It was so stressful cutting these, like this first one for sure, because I knew how I wanted to cut it, but just getting the measurements so they were all the same, and all that stuff, it was a little stressful. I'm not gonna deny it, but it worked. It worked. I'm not sure if I actually marked this small. I can't remember if this is 1/4 of an inch or if it's just over 1/4 of an inch. It might be 1/4 of an inch, and then those top ones they're smaller. So the top on these, most of these, there was one where for some reason the tops were just as big as the other ones, which made no sense, you guys. But the tops are basically going to be going into my butt naked grab bags. So if you see those down at, wherever on the website, down at A to Z, at a vendor's show, the butt naked grab bags are going to be basically the tops of these. They're just end pieces, and which is why I didn't really care about the tops per se. But look at those swirls in there. That is what it created, doing that swirly pattern and then going in there and swirling it again. I thought they turned out great. Like, I was so happy with myself, because it's really fulfilling to have an idea and to be able to execute it that well, right? So I was really, really extra proud. You probably won't get to see like the 6-week cure on a lot of these, just because I forgot to do it. And here is the Baja Cactus Blossom with the whole set. And I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I will see you next time, and God bless.